again, and again we're fishing Cascade spinners for Chinook salmon. You've probably already seen my video where I talk about the different types of spinners, the different types of sizes. Now we're working on techniques. So this next technique is kind of unique. I'm not sure if I made it up or what, but I just kind of thought of it one day, and it's actually been one of my best go-to techniques for the Fraser River, fishing spinners for Chinook salmon and coho salmon. So I'm going to show you how it goes here. So again, we got this fantastic Lama Glass XCF 803 fiberglass one-piece 8-foot Chinook, beautiful Chinook rod. These things are unbelievable. Super strong, super soft tip. Very important when you're Chinook fishing. You want to be able to, you want that spinner to transmit the thump to the tip of the rod so you know exactly what's happening. If you have a big, sturdy bar fishing rod, you're not going to know what's happening. You'll think it's working, and your spinner might not even be spinning. Like very often in the past, over the years when we fished spinning glows, you'd be fishing for 2-3 hours off the shore, and then you'd reel in your rod, and your spinning glow would be all tangled up. You hadn't even been fishing. You'd just been sitting. So with this method, because you have these really good technical rods, they really show you on the rod tip what's happening. That's if you'll know right away if your spinner's working by the way that rod tip's pulsating. So this technique here is one I use. This is an anchored up technique. We only use this technique when we're anchoring. And this is great. You get on you anchor your boat in what you think to be the traveling lane for the fish, and you deploy your rods with this method, and I guarantee you'll catch Chinook salmon. So here we go. Again, we've got 65-pound braided line for our main line. Pretty much the standard what I use for Chinooks. And then, okay, so you've got, on this method here, you've got your main line, 65-pound braided line. To that, you slide 2 extra large beads. I like to use these orange ones. I always think they kind of attract the salmon as well. Don't spook them. So I have these 2 big orange beads. To that, I attach a good sturdy swivel. And to that, I attach anywheres from 2.5 to 4 feet of 20-pound monofilament. And the reason you use the light monofilament on this piece is because we're going to attach our weight to this piece. We're going to cast it out, and then we're going to slide a leader with a spinner down the main line. And what happens is if that fish bites and he gets hooked on that spinner, if that weight gets caught on the bottom and your line's too strong to your weight, it'll end up breaking your fish off. With this method, it just breaks your weight off. So you do lose a few weights with this method, but you lose them on fish, almost always on fish. So it's a good trade-off. You know, you pay a bit for a weight, but hey, if you're getting a Chinook, it's not a big deal. So what we do, so again, we have our main line, we have our 2 big beads, we got our swivel, we got our, in this case, 2.5 feet of 20-pound line that's going to run to our weight, and we have a snap swivel. So what we do, now with this method, the water that I catch my fish in, you'll be able to hold with between 8 ounces and 12 ounces. If you're having to use more than 12 ounces, the water's too fast. If you can get away with using 4 ounces, or it's not fast enough. So that'll help you to decide what water to anchor in. So here's what we do: we attach our weight to our snap swivel. When people see me fish this method, they always think I'm crazy because I have no lure on right now, and I'm going to cast out with no lure. So again, you can see my setup here: main line, beads, swivel, 2.5 feet of 20-pound, 12-ounce weight. Pick her up. Now what you do with this method is you simply cast out that weight wherever you want that lure to end up sitting. So if I'm on the inside rod here towards the shore, I'll cast in towards shore. If I'm out the back, I cast straight out the back here, straight out the back, and out this side I can cast anywhere I would like to hold. So in this case, I'm not going to go out too far because I'm kind of sitting in the perfect spot. So I cast, bloop, sits on the bottom, click, and what you do is you lay it down right there like that. Alright, so what we're doing here, now we've cast it out with just our weight and on our main line, sitting on the bottom. Now we take our 4-foot leader, 50-pound monofilament. To that I'm going to attach a number 7. You won't be able to buy this one. This is a secret bent rod custom that I use. This is the orange chartreuse turtle. If you phone me and you're really nice, I might make you some. Alright, so we got our number 7. You could rub some scent on there, tie a piece of prawn on there, a roe sack, whatever you want to do. It's always good to have some smell in there. For these purposes, I'm not worried about it. So we have our line, it's out in the water, it's sitting on bottom. Now it's getting ready. So we have our leader here, spinner at one end, 4 feet of 50 pound, a snap swivel. Now it's important that your snap swivel has to be small enough that it's not going to slide over top of those big beads that are on the main line. Now those beads have to stop it from sliding. So it slides down until it hits the beads, boom, it stops there. The spinner works around and starts spinning. So you watch this. It's a great method here. Come right in. So you take your snap swivel, you snap it around your main line, snap it closed, and you let her go. You can see she just travels right down the line. Now, as you can see on the rod tip there with this nice fiberglass, Lamaglass rod, that rod tip's showing exactly what's happening there. And as you can see, it's quite erratic because in fact it is just a slight bit probably too fast. So what I would do in this case is I would reel it in and I would cast it a bit closer to the boat because that is just slightly too fast. But with that being said, I have caught fish with that spinner really humming, especially in this dirty water. But yeah, I think it might be a slight bit too fast, but that's the technique. So that there was my bent rods sliding leader technique. Works really well. It lets you spread your rods right out. And quite often when you see me out there, guys always look at me funny, but that's what I'm doing. So give it a try and I think it'll work really good for you. So tight lines and bent rods.